All right, Counter Punch Boxing. Look, guys, we are 10 days out from this historic trilogy. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Now, today's video, the officials, the judges have been selected for Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez 3. So let's get into it. Here we go. The judges have been selected for Gennady Golovkin, Canelo 3. Okay, let's read this. The judges appointed to the fight are Dave Moretti from Nevada, Steve Weisfeld from Jersey. It goes on to say, who have already been active in the Mexicans' previous fights. David Sutherland from Oklahoma will be the third judge. Now, let's take a look at the first scorecard. Now, of course, we know Adelaide Bird, 118-110, but take a look in the middle right there. Moretti, 115-113 in favor of Gennady Golovkin. Okay, of course, you had Don Treel over there, 114-114. And by the way, he did make a mistake on that scorecard, but no need to dig up the past. Now, let's go to the second fight. Dave Moretti, 115-113 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. And, of course, this is where Steve Weisfeld scored the first fight in favor of Canelo Alvarez, 115-113. But you see Moretti right there, what was that, 115-113 in favor of Canelo. So both of these two judges scored the fight for Canelo in the last fight, and then Fieldman had it a draw, 114-114. Okay, now when asked, Gennady Golovkin said about the judges here, he says, I'll be honest with you, I moved on the next day. I haven't thought much about it. I realized that those people who gave those scores, they were used. Wow, okay. They were used like disposable tissues are being used. It was time to use them. They were used and disposed of, according to Gennady Golovkin. Now, you know, look, throwing a little bit of shade at these judges, but he has every right to. 118-110, worst scorecard in boxing history, you know, maybe outside of CJ Ross and Mayweather Canelo, you know, scoring that fight a draw. Okay, you know, so look, I agree with Gennady Golovkin, but you know, yeah, basically, you know, we got Dave Moretti returning for the third time, Steve Weisfeld returning for the second time. Okay, you know, and look, just the cliff note here, you know, this is Bernard Hopkins. He says it's going to be interesting to see these two guys a few years older. I'm predicting Canelo will find his groove and then get a stoppage in the 6th or the 7th round. It looks like it will be a beatdown. Okay, this is, of course, Bernard Hopkins. Now, remember, Bernard Hopkins had ties to Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotion. Now, Canelo has separated himself from Oscar, you know, so I don't know. I mean, I could understand Bernard Hopkins, you know, kind of talking this kind of crap when he was connected to Oscar and Golden Boy, but not now. So, you know, we'll see. And look, a lot of these pro fighters like Paulie, you know, like Tank, all these people that are kind of giving their opinion on the fight, they're all claiming Canelo Alvarez is going to stop Gennady Golovkin. Okay, let me read another comment from Gennady Golovkin I found interesting. He says, I've known Canelo for a long time, and I've always known it was possible. And Dimitri Bivol just showed us that basically it was possible to win against Canelo Alvarez, you know, the establishment fighter on the scorecards. I think that it says, I think he will draw conclusions as a result of his loss. He will take our fight much more seriously, much more realistically, and that will be a totally different fight compared to his fight against Bivol. So Gennady Golovkin, very confident that he can win. He's not worried about the judges. So, you know, hey, we'll see what happens. Okay, just to give you a little bit more background on these judges here, Moretti has judged each of Canelo's last 7 fights in Las Vegas dating back to May 2017, and 8 of his most recent 11 fights, of course, all in favor of Canelo Alvarez. Moretti and Weisfeld both scored Dimitri Bivol 115-113 winner over Alvarez. So it does give me a little bit of hope that Weisfeld and Dave Moretti scored against Canelo Alvarez against Bivol. And of course, Moretti gave Gennady Golovkin, you know, in one of the fights, 115-113 in favor of Golovkin. So look, I don't really have a problem with these two guys, when we're talking about Wisefield and Dave Moretti. But let's take a look at judge number 3. Now, is this the plant? Is this the guy that got paid off? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's have a look here at David Sutherland, the new judge. Okay, now when I'm looking through his career, he's been judging from 02 to 2022, 20 years. I don't really see any high-profile fights on here. I don't really see any big names, but what I do see is a lot of fence sitting. If you look at his scorecards, they're 115, 113, somewhere in that ballpark. They're always close, but mostly in favor of the rightful winner. Now, he was involved in a little bit of controversy. Look, let me just show you. Okay, so no real wrongdoing on Sutherland's part, but right here, the fight between Estrada and Gonzalez, there was an obvious, clear, corrupt judge that scored this fight just awful. I mean, again, up there with CJ Ross, Adelaide Bird. Right here it says boxing officials were compelled to take action against this particular judge. Okay, 117, 111. Now, Sutherland scored the fight fair, 115, 113. To the rightful winner. So, but it's just more evidence, more proof that a lot of these judges are in fact paid off. They are corrupt. And I don't know what is so hard to understand about that. A lot of boxing fans simply don't understand how corrupt some of these guys are. So in closing, look, let me just simplify this. Okay, we got Moretti coming back for a 3rd time, Wisefield coming back for a 2nd time, and this new guy, Sutherland, is he going to be the fall guy? Is he going to be the scapegoat? Is he going to be the one that, kind of nudges it in Canelo's favor, giving Canelo Alvarez the win? If it goes to the scorecards, which I don't even know if it will at this point, but if it does, bringing this guy Sutherland in seems really mysterious, really weird, an odd judge. I mean, for such a high-profile fight, I mean, the Gennady Golovkin-Canelo trilogy, you'd think you would see a more seasoned judge in there, like a Wisefield, again, or a Moretti, someone like that. So I don't know. Something doesn't pass the smell test here. Something doesn't pass the purity test. I don't know. Is he paid off? Is he there to do a job against Gennady Golovkin? I guess we'll see. So leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about these judges. And before we go, I want to kind of go over a few more things like the referee, for the 3rd fight and so on. Okay, let me read this real quick. Regarding the referee, Russell Mora will appear for the 4th time in a row in a Canelo fight in Las Vegas, but he was not in any of the first 2 fights of the trilogy. Of course, that was Kenny Bayless. So, look, I think they're carefully picking the officials here. But again, this Sutherland guy, I'm just not 100% on this man. I mean, if you guys know something about him, let me know. I can't really find any dirt on him, so leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the referee. Okay, real quick, the undercard, of course, we have Rodriguez Gonzalez, Williams Conway, and Rosado Akhmadov. Now, a decent undercard, I think. So, you guys tell me what you think about it. But we all know everyone's there for the main event. Now, the pay-per-view price, okay, United States, $64.99 for DAZN subscribers. $84.99. Wow, nearly $100 for new subscribers, and that includes 1 free month on DAZN. Canada $64, United Kingdom, what is that, 10, 17, 18, somewhere in there. So you guys get the gist, but most of you are in the UK or the United States. So, gonna run you anywhere from $70 to $90 to pay for this particular pay-per-view. Now, I will probably pay for it, because I think it's going to be an historical fight, and I want to see it, and I don't want to, any crappy streams on YouTube that are going to get taken down anyway, so I'll probably fork out the $84.99 because I am not a current subscriber to DAZN because, I think they're kind of a ripoff and they lied to us on their pricing. So there you have it, guys. Now, look, in all fairness, we got Moretti, Wisefield, and Sutherland. Again, I think the only culprit here could be Sutherland. I don't really have a problem with the referee. So, look, things seem to be on the up and up, and I'm surprised. So, and I think with all the controversy in the past, these judges, they're going to understand that they're being watched under a microscope, and this could be a career breaker, a deal breaker if they screw this up. So, anything can happen. You guys leave a comment below and tell me what you think.